Italian Football Podcast.
Right, let's move back to the Italy national team now. Now, on Wednesday, the FIGC published an in-depth report on the state of health of Italian football following the World Cup failure. President Gabriele Gravina published the report despite his recent resignation as FIGC president. He will remain in charge until his successor is elected on June the 22nd. Now, on Wednesday, Gravina posted a report that he was supposed to present at the Italian Parliament, but his hearing was cancelled following his resignation. So he shared the document with, I quote, the hope that it may stimulate reflection and deeper analysis, including among those who in recent days have added their opinions to the already crowded group of those who believe they have the solution in their pockets. Now, after reading the official Italian FA report on the state of Italian football, I have to say one thing. We are fucked. I mean, we are fucked. Look at this data, right? Now, I'm going to read out some of the key takeaway points of the data that was shared by Gravina and the FIGC report. Now, look, this is scary. It really is scary. And it kind of really lays bare just how many problems that we have in our football structurally and so many things that we have to solve. So listen to this. The percentage of foreigners on the pitch in Serie A, 67.9% of total minutes, which is the sixth worst figure in Europe. In Spain, the figure is 39.6%. In France, 48.3%. The number of players selectable for the national team, just 89 Italians out of the 284 who play at least 30 minutes on average per match. Italy is last in Europe for revenues generated from international transfers of players trained in their own country over the last decade. They're 49th championship in the world out of 50 considered for percentage of minutes played by under 21 players that are selectable for the national team. 1.9%. 1.9% is unreal.
Pathetic. And people want to argue about how England,
it was just Gattuso.
Well, they got lots of foreigners, but no, they don't, because they don't have these underlying horrible stats. I mean, it's
and it was just Gattuso. It was just Gattuso the reason why we didn't qualify. The average
been going on for a long time.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It speaks for itself. We don't even need to analyse this. It speaks for itself. The average age in Serie A is 28, which is the eighth oldest league in Europe. Serie A is outside of the top 10 leagues for meters covered in sprints. The average ball speed in Serie A is 7.6 meters per second, which is so much lower than the Champions League. It's pretty scary. Where the ball speed is 10.4 meters per second, and the other top European leagues average is 9.2 meters per second. So it's a league that is so much slower, and it kind of shows why when we play in Europe, we're just not at the speed and the intensity, and obviously that the Italy national team as well. Serie A is last for dribbles per match among the top five European leagues, 26.69 versus 29.97. And since the 2019-20 season, the number of successful dribbles in Serie A has been declining. And this is a scary how far this has fallen. 19.02 dribbles in 2019-20 to 12.36 this season. So work out the drop there. That's really scary. And obviously this is something that we discussed last week. When you're playing 3-5-2 formations and 75%, 80% of the league is playing 3-5-2, you're not going to create players that are dribblers because you don't have wingers, you don't have attackers that are in the positions to dribble. So it's just basic logic that. Serie A is last among the top five European championships for what sounds like a drug, PPDA. But what that is the aggressiveness factor during pressing and pressure phases, which allows a greater number of passes to the opposing team in possession of the ball. So it allows them to basically break the press and have more passes on the ball basically before you press them. Despite the good results of the younger teams in youth competitions for Italy, the comparison between their employment in first teams in Italy and the rest of Europe is, it's scary again. The Spaniards who played in the 2023 Under-19 European Championship, which was won by Italy, by the way, the minutes in La Liga are double compared to Italy, and 6 times greater than Italy when you look at the number of minutes played in Europe matches in Europe. So that speaks for itself. And also the Italians who came second at the 2023 Under-20 World Cup, almost all of them played in youth teams compared to the French and the English, who were already playing for senior teams already in like the Premier League and so forth. Italy is last compared in reference to the 7 major leagues in terms of money generated from homegrown players transferred abroad. And the lack of investment in youth academies, there are only 2 Italian academies among the 50 best invested in Europe, Juventus and Atalanta. Inter are in 53rd place, just outside. So the investment is not there in our youth academies. 730 million annual deficit. The cost of commissions paid to player agents in Italy, 300 million in the last year. So that's 300 million that is disappearing from Italian football that should be used to improve Italian football, the infrastructure. It's just robbery. There's nothing shorts to it. The agents, I'm going to say it, need to fuck off. Italy is outside the top 10 in relation to the number of modern stadiums built. No surprise there. So yeah, those are the key points. But it's a very comprehensive report. It was led by Gravina. I actually would actually say well done to Gravina for the first good thing he's done. That he's actually put this out there and laid bare the issues that Italy has.
Yeah, he has, but at the same time, we're going to get to that later on in the show in a minute. But then he goes and says that he's been in charge for what, 12 years, and how many 10 years? How long has he been in charge? And this is under his watch. So, yeah, I'm not saying he created the problem, but he's certainly responsible for it.
Well, belatedly, it's good that this has all been put out there publicly. This should have been done 10 years ago. Then there would have been, more understanding specifically on the issues. We all know there's problems, but these have actually laid it out bare with data, which is good. The FIGC proposal on how to fix Italian football. Now, Gabriele Gravina, who is still the president until June the 22nd, insisted that it is, I quote, impossible to impose a minimum number of Italian players in Serie A, as it would, I quote, violate principles of free movement of workers, which applies to football as a professional sport. Just to point out that this is from a Football Italia article on the FIGC report that was made last week on the health of Italian football. Gravina also, so that's to do with the foreigners, the call for there to be less foreigners and impose a minimum number of Italians. He also highlighted, Gravina, that a tight fixture list has made it impossible to find a training window for the Italy national team outside the usual international breaks. He complained about the lack of financial help from the government. Gravina said that Italian football did not receive financial allocations, not even for the Euro 2032, while other events organised in the country, such as the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics, the America's Cup in Naples, the Mediterranean Games in Taranto, received multi-billion euro funding. Lastly, he reiterated his proposals, which he had previously tried to implement, regarding a percentage of betting revenues to be allocated to football in order to develop youth players and infrastructures, a tax credit, and the reintroduction of a preferential tax regime for professionals coming from abroad, practically the famous Cruyff decree. Gravina also insisted that the ban on advertisement and sponsorships by betting operators be lifted and that supportive measures be taken to build new stadiums or renovate existing ones. The FIGC president Gravina stressed that the technical redevelopment of Italian football at the youth level has already started under Maurizio Viscidi, focusing more on technique than on tactics. Lastly, he insisted that it is necessary to reshape Serie A, Serie B, Serie C, Serie D to launch a reform project for the refereeing sector. Without, I quote, without this strong and unanimous willingness to prioritise the common good over the defence of individual positions, which is quite funny, and we can see him as he's defended his position the most, and with politics creating the conditions and enabling the necessary tools for action, no single individual can achieve a true and complete revival of Italian football, Gravina concluded. Just want to have a very quick kind of reaction to these. I think there's a few points in here which are just absolute bollocks, but there also are some points where I think he is right. I think that the minimum number of Italian footballers, the EU thing, I think he's right there. That is a difficult thing to enforce. I think you would agree there.
There's not much you can do.
I think that he's right about the lack of support politically from government, from local government. I think he's absolutely right there as well. It's difficult to make reforms and changes when you're not getting support from the local government and from the national government. I think he's right there as well. That's where the reforms need to go to a higher level. I think he's right there. But then some of the stuff, like not being able to find a break, an international window break, just fuck off. Just that can be done at the beginning of the season. That's not hard to organise. And also, some of these kind of, some of these suggestions are just really weak, aren't they, in some of these other areas?
They are, but he's trying to defend his position. But I think that this report just basically concludes that you need someone new to come in. I'm glad he made the report, but I don't think he's the right person to lead the change. This all happened under his watch. He had 10 years or however many years he had to conduct this report and impose the changes, and it's too little too late. I'm glad he did it, but he needs to go.
Yeah, absolutely. But then he kind of ruins kind of some of the positive nature of this report by his quotes, and that we'll move on to Baggio, Premface, and Serie A of the week now, and this puts him in the Serie A category with his quotes of the weekend, where he tells the Corriere della Sera about Italy's World Cup failure, basically blames the players entirely, and says, "Me responsible for Italy's flop? I should have been a better footballer. I missed 2 penalties against Switzerland and 3 sitters against Bosnia. Then from the spot, I blasted 1 over the bar and 1 onto the crossbar. Now I live almost like a recluse between home and the FIGC."
It's astonishing when you add what he said about the other sports being amateur sports and football being professional, and it's just he has no idea what he's like. This man needs to go. There's no credibility. He's just all over the place.
Yeah,
I just get rid of him. Like just chuck him away.
absolutely. And now he, saying that he wants to continue, or he's going to continue within UEFA and helping to bring Euro 2002. I mean, and that sums up a lot also of Serie A's problems as well. This guy has literally been the bitch of Ceferin. He's done everything that Ceferin has wanted over the last 5 years. Whatever Ceferin has wanted, he's done it, and it's disgusting that he's still. And it shows where his loyalties have lied. It's been within UEFA more than it has been within Italian football in the Serie A and FIGC. He's been doing what UEFA wanted more than what has been good for Italian football.
No, he's failed. He's failed in his job, and this report underlines that.
Yeah, Absolutely.
Hey everybody, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like, share and comment below. Let us know your thoughts. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you never miss any of our content when we upload it. It really helps us grow and bring you more stories like this. And also don't forget to follow us on our social media for extra clips, updates, behind the scenes content. We have the same handle everywhere. It's @EtherFootPod. The link is in the description below. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.